So the new Fortnite season, Chapter 6 Mini Season 1, recently released with a ton of new Star Wars themed items, and in this video, I'm going to rank every single one of them from worst to best. This video will not go over items that have been in the other seasons, so the E11, the F11, which was previously called the First Order Blaster Rifle, the DC-15 Heavy Blaster Rifle, which was previously called the DC-15, and lastly, the push and throwable lightsabers. But without further delay, let's get into it. In 13th place is the DL-44 Blaster Pistol, which just doesn't stack up to the rest of the season's phenomenal arsenal. It doesn't do that much damage and it doesn't even shoot that fast. The only reason you would want to carry this thing is if it was early game or if you have nothing else to carry. But if you have a choice, you're not going to carry anything else. So mid to late game, you're not carrying this thing. But the headshots for this thing are decently strong, especially in the higher rarities, but it just doesn't hold up compared to the rest of the season. At 12th place is Captain Phasma's Medallion. This thing is pretty underwhelming, and I don't think you would even notice it during gameplay unless you read its description or searched it up. But what it does is it makes your weapons take longer to heat up, so you can shoot more with it. Which I don't see myself overheating weapons that much this season, so I don't have a problem where I need more shots off, but it goes above the pistol because it doesn't take up an item slot and it doesn't really hurt your gameplay or anything. At 11th place is the new grenade for this season, that being the Thermal Blaster, and this thing can do some serious damage if you're high up, and even if you're not, you can send your opponents flying up and crashing down with this thing. But it only really does damage if you send someone up in the air and they take fall damage, but if you don't, it only does 70 damage, which isn't as much as you'd want, but if you spam it, then you'll probably hit something with it and it can break builds pretty easily, so that's why it's above the rest. Barely cracking into the top 10 is the BARM ST-12 Scatter Blaster, which is basically the tack for the season, shooting fast but doing low damage. But this thing just sucks compared to the other shotguns this season and the other attacks in the past, because the bullet spread for this thing is abysmal. Like, the blast shots go so far from each other to where you're not hitting any of the pellets. Like, maybe you're hitting 3 or 2 of them, which means you're doing less damage on an already weak shotgun. I don't see a scenario where you want to carry this thing above the other shotgun unless you literally just can't aim in the slightest. In 9th place is the CR-2 Blaster, which shoots insanely fast green shots, which look really cool, but unfortunately the damage isn't as cool as the blaster shots, as it only does like 16 damage per hit, which is pitiful. You're basically tickling your opponent with this thing. Now, it does shoot really fast, but the damage is so incredibly low that it's just not worth carrying, as you'll just get killed by any opponent with a good reaction time and a shotgun, but the thing is good for shredding builds at least. In 8th place is the A280-CFE Blaster Rifle, which is the AR with the scope on it, and I don't see this weapon a lot. It's kind of rare, to be honest, but it's not even the best AR on the season. It's the worst one, but it's not a terrible weapon. Like, it does decent damage and it's pretty accurate with the scope. But I don't see a reason why you want to carry this thing over the other 2 rifles in the loot pool unless you just really like scopes for some reason. In 7th place is the only lightsaber on this list, and that's the Force Lightning Sith one. This lightsaber is pretty rare. Like, I barely get to play with it, especially because for this season, Epic made it so where you can only use the Force powers if you get it directly from Palpatine. So if you kill someone with the lightsaber, you'll just get a normal one, and it won't even let you run fast or double jump. And Epic, I'm begging you to change this because it's really annoying. But anyway, the season nerfed lightsabers to where if you swing, you're not able to immediately block. There's a little delay, but that delay is what dragged this lightsaber down. Because if you use the lightsaber as a melee item, you might as well just leave the game, because you'll be instantly sent back to the lobby by a shotgun to the head. So the Force Lightning ability is the only reason this thing is high, because it can just shred through someone's health and a lightsaber. Also, its secondary effect, where if you hit a vehicle with it, it stops working like an EMP, is insanely good, as I hate when people run away in cars, but I'm not sure if it works on the Star Wars vehicles yet, so someone let me know in the comments, because if it does, that's also insanely good. But the Force Lightning is the only thing you can use for this thing, which is why it's so low. At 6th place, the DLT-19 Blaster Rifle. This AR shoots really fast and does a lot of damage to your opponents, and it also shreds builds and vehicles, but there's not really much to say here as it's just like a pretty solid AR. Cracking into the top 5 is the only mythic on this list, and that's Captain Phasma's F-11D blaster rifle. Now I know at the start of this video I said I'm not going to include any F11s, but this is the F11D, so I'm pretty sure it's a different weapon. But anyway, this weapon shoots incredibly fast and shreds through everything. I'm pretty sure it's the fastest shooting weapon in the game, and it does good damage unlike the CR-2, which might be faster, but it's so weak that it can't be compared to the F11D. If you can get your hands on this thing, do it, because it's worth it. You can obliterate everything in your path with it. In 4th place is the first vehicle on this list, and that's the TIE Fighter. This vehicle is extremely good for fighting, mobility, and it's just really fun to play with and like mess around with. My only issue with it is it's kind of inaccurate compared to the X-Wing, and the big things on the sides of it are just big ass targets asking to be hit. So if you see a TIE Fighter from the side, you can just like easily take it down. But it also has 3 lives, so it kind of like counteracts that problem for me. Now we're on the top 3 with the X-Wing. The X-Wing is everything the TIE Fighter wish it was. It looks better, it's harder to hit, and it's way more accurate, and it's just fun to play with all around. But it is much more rare than the TIE Fighter, sadly, as I think it only spawns in the Resistance base, but I'm sure that will change as the season goes on, but as of now, it's in 3rd place. In 2nd place is the far superior shotgun, and that's the ACP Scatter Blaster. This is the pump equivalent for the season, and it definitely delivers as that. It's slow, but hits for amazing damage, and it has a tight bullet spread, so you can do a lot more damage way more consistently than the other shotgun. And it's just a really reliable weapon to use. In 1st place, my personal opinion for the best weapon in Chapter 6 Mini Season 1 is the Marksman Blast Rifle. This weapon acts as the sniper for the season, and it delivers on that amazingly. It does good damage, it's very accurate, and since it's a marksman rifle, you can use it from far away and also be powerful. It's very accurate from far distances as well, so you can hit someone from far away and they won't even know it, and also shoots fast as hell. And that's the end of my Chapter 6 Mini Season 1 weapons ranking. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe to get me to 6,000 subs by June, and make sure to comment your favorite weapon this season. And also, if you want to support me personally, you can cash at me, but that's enough out of me. Goodbye.